Still here, filming, quarantined. It is gray and rainy and yucky out. So, um, yeah. If you noticed, my books have been changed around a little bit. I did a reorganization yesterday of all the books. They're now separated by book setting. They're also all turned around now. I had them before, the unread ones. I had the pages facing outwards, and I ended up not liking that setup at all. It just made it harder for me to find things. So I have it all like this. Not all of the knickknacks are out because I'm still kind of putting them back up. But I don't have any motivation to do anything relating to organizing or cleaning or putting things where they belong. So I'm just sitting here with my water, and I figured maybe I could film something. I do have maybe a couple of book tags I was thinking of maybe doing, but for right now, I realized I have a bag of books that I have kind of set aside because I do not want them. Um, they are either books of mine that I thought I would like and I was sadly mistaken, or they are books that I have borrowed from people. A couple of them are books that are to go back to people, and a couple of them are most of them are books that people didn't want and just kind of handed off to me, and I don't want them. So yeah, so I figured I could do an unhaul, I guess, of what these books are. I have this big old bag, this big old bag. Oops, I'm not getting rid of that. That's my book. But yeah, this big old bag of books. So, let's just get into it. It's like the 2-minute mark already, so chop chop. First up in this bag of books that I don't want is Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan. I thought this book was going to be about a mystery around a quirky bookstore, and while that is partially what's in here, it also involves a lot of computer stuff that I did not sign up for. In case you haven't already noticed, despite the fact that I have been using computers for the majority of my life now, I suck at it. So, making websites and coding and shit like that, I have no freaking clue what it is, and it is of little to no interest to me. So, yeah, this was like disappointing, and I don't want it anymore. So, that's in my pile. Next up is the first of several romance novels that you will see in here. This is Dream Wedding by Susan Mallory. It is a bind-up of Dream Bride and Dream Groom. I did not enjoy these. It's been a while since I've read this. I'm trying to remember what my problem with it was, but I think it largely had to do with the main characters, and also the plot was just very not for me. So that's that book anyway. Then we have Running with Scissors by Augustin Burroughs. This was also a disappointing read. I thought this was going to be wicked funny, because that's what it sounded like. It might be kind of interesting, from what was on the back, but it instead disgusted me greatly. Not the author himself, but there's a pedophilic relationship in here at one point, which is not good. And there was also just, I guess the descriptions were what bothered me the most. The descriptions of like the grime and the dirt and the yucky house and the stuff that was just going. It grossed me out. So I didn't want it, which kind of is sad because I thought it was gonna be pretty interesting, and I don't know, it was disappointing instead. Next up is the Priory Classics translation of Grimm's fairy tales. I do have other fairy tale translations, several which are Grimm's. I did not like the translation here. It was very, very old world, I guess. Very, very old, actually. There are, let me see if I can find it. There's like, the translation of a couple of things in here is just really, pretty ridiculous. I don't think I ended up finishing reading this because I was very confused to what was going on. Let me see if I can find the tale that I'm thinking of in here. Let me see. Oh no, I can't find it. But it was like, at one point in here, there's like a rhyming chant thing or something that said, and it's something like, "Look now, our great slut has come home again." And I was like, excuse me? Is this for children? The great what? So yeah, so this I don't want. I certainly don't want to keep it for kids to read. Let's see, next up is The Murder Room by P.D. James. This is actually part of a series featuring Commander Dalglish. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. It's a series that takes place in England, and it was really interesting, but it was also hard for me to get through. Not really plot-wise, but like writing-wise, for some reason, was a little hard for me to really get into. So I am not 100% sure if I'm gonna look for the rest of the series, so I'm just like, but I didn't feel any special need to hold on to it, so it is in the bag. Next up is the Social Justice Warrior Handbook, by Lisa De Pasquale. Like I said, I apologize if I mispronounce any things at any point. I received this, and I honestly don't know if it was given to me as a joke or if it was given to me. I don't know, but yeah, I read a little bit of it because I thought maybe it was just supposed to be like a haha satirical thing, and it is a haha satirical thing, but not in a nice way. It's written by Fox News Trash, basically, so hopefully someone out there in the world will appreciate this way more than I do. So I don't know, I'm not the one for that. Next up is The Hearts We Sold by Emily Lloyd Jones. I received this in an Owl Crate like a year or two ago. I tried out Owl Crate. I thought maybe that's cool. I didn't like it. I didn't like the romance that developed. I didn't really like the ending. I threw the book across the room at the ending, actually. Yeah, it was not my cup of tea. So someone else will probably love this more than I did. Let's see, next up I have, a couple of Nora Roberts, sadly. So they are Worth the Risk, which has Partners and The Art of Deception in it, and Western Skies, which has Song of the West and Boundary Lines. I normally love Nora Roberts' writing. I really like her characters and the banter and the relationships between everyone in the books. and like the romances that develop, and she regularly has like a kind of a mystery or a crime thing going on, and I really appreciate that too. These miss the mark a lot. I don't know if it's because they're like some of her older ones. I think they were written sometime in the late 80s, early 90s, but they don't sit well with me, and that is mainly because the female MCs are whiny bitches, excuse me, and the male love interests are domineering, selfish pricks. So that shit doesn't sit well with me anymore. I used to be kind of okay with that back when I was a teenager and didn't know any better. But I don't like that anymore. I think it's the wrong message to send to women, and I think it sucks. So you'll see some other ones in here. If I have ever rant about romance novels at all, it is mostly going to be because of those factors. Mainly because the guys are assholes. But, yeah, so these are in the bag. Next up is another Susan Mallory, Straight from the Hip. This is part of a series about sisters, and not interested. Same problem. Guy's an asshole. No, thank you. Let's see. Then there is this intrigue containing the tales of Ready, Aim, I Do, and Missing by Deborah Webb. And so I barely remember what Missing is about. The only thing I really remember about it is I did not like the main character. But the first story is about two, are they CIA? Yeah, two special agents, and they end up, I guess, getting married while they're on a mission or something like that. And my main problem with it was I did not know how they were secret agents. I mean, honestly, I don't know any secret agents. I've never been involved in that at all. I mean, when I was younger, I really wanted to be an FBI agent, but that's like, so the point is, I really don't know that much about that life at all, but I can tell you that these two people would not have lasted. They would have been dead immediately, because she does not think things through before she does them, and he is the biggest moron in the entire world. So, yeah, completely unbelievable, laughable, lame. In the bag. Then we have The Perfect Witness by Iris Johansen. It's been a while. I don't remember what my problem with this was. I only remember that I put it aside to give away. So, it obviously didn't leave that much of an impression on me. So there we go. Next up is The Perfect Bride by Carrie Connor. It is part of the Sutton Hall Wedding series. I didn't have too much of a problem with it. The love story was cute and all. There was spooky-ish elements to it that I enjoyed. But it wasn't anything particularly special to me. And also, it supposedly takes place in Vermont, and it didn't really give any special indications that it was in Vermont at all. And it sounded like maybe the author didn't even really know where Vermont was. They were just like, hey, let's pick some rural state and put it there. So, yeah. In the bag. Next up is Eclipse Bay by Jane Ann Krentz. Sorry, the glare is terrible. Yeah, it was an okay story, but it didn't thrill me. So, in the bag. After that, I have a couple more intrigues. These are both part of the Marshals of Maverick County series by Dolores Fawson. We have Outlaw Lawman and The Marshal's Hostage. My mom gets like these, or she used to get these sent in like a monthly box or something like that. She'd get loads of them. And this series I'm not particularly thrilled with. a lot of these little um, romances feel like it's not necessary to the large plot at all. They're just kind of existing. Um, and it's just kind of like, I didn't really like the characters in this one. And this one, the characters were so-so, but my main problem with it was um, that some of the facts about law enforcement, like how quickly they got labs back, especially how quickly that they got labs back in a small ass town in the middle of, like, where is this, Texas? Um, a really small town, and they got like lab reports back. Like, dude, I mean, who do you have in the back room? Is it just Cindy back there with a microscope? Like, how did you get shit back that fast? How do you do that? That's not possible. That's not, first of all, it's not how science works. Second of all, that's not, like, how do you have the capabilities? You don't. Okay. It just bothered me. All right. So, okay. Next up is Obstruction of Justice by Perry O'Shaughnessy. I am a fan of books, movies, shows that involve like courtroom drama and lawyers searching for like the truth and cool stuff like that. Like, I willingly really read John Grisham. Like, I really like that. This was not what I was hoping it would be. I was hoping it would be more exciting like that. It really wasn't to me. I don't know why it didn't really tick all of those good, like, mystery courtroom drama things for me, but it just really didn't. So it's in the box. Next up is The Shapeshifter by Tony Hillerman. This is part of the Leaphorn and Chi series about the Navajo Tribal Police. If you have ever watched, I believe it is like Mystery Theater, or like Mystery Masterpiece Theater or something like that, it is on PBS. You might have seen this before. Adam Beach plays Chi. What is his name? Officer Chi. So you might have seen it before. I don't know. Maybe if you watch PBS. But it's a really good series, and I did actually really enjoy this book. But it is my aunt's, so it's in the bag because I'm giving it back to her. But yeah, it's very interesting, and you should try to check it out if you're interested in Native American, like, culture or tribal police or mysteries. I don't know. Okay. So, in the box, bag, whatever. Next up is a sad give back. Is the first 4 volumes of Death Note. This is by Sugumi Oba and Takeshi Obata. Sadly, I have these in the bag because unfortunately I had both the manga and the anime. I had them spoiled for me because of the internet and also AMV hell. So I know how it ends, sadly. So unfortunately, it leaves me not wanting to continue on collecting, reading, or watching. So they're in the bag. Next up, I also have a couple more manga volumes. I have Aquarian Age Juvenile Orion. This is volume 4 of that. It is by Sakuraku Gokurakuen. And I have this in here because apparently teenage me bought accidentally 2 volumes of number 4. So this is my second one. And then I acquired at one point the 4th volume, Bandit of Fushigi Yugi Mysterious Play by Yu Watasi. And I did read this high school, college, something like that. My friend has this series. So I have read the entire series, And while I did like it, I didn't love it entirely, so I have no interest in collecting this entire thing. So it is, it's in the pile too. And then I've got 3 more books. The last 3. This one is The Orpheus Obsession by Dakota Lane. I got this sometime in high school, and I remember it wasn't a big favorite of mine, but I was very into like gritty / quirky reads at the time, so I just kind of kept it. And I tried to read this a couple of months ago when I found it again, and I did not get very far because it's okay. I'm not going to say terrible because it's not really terrible, but it's not something I am interested in any longer. So it is in the bag. Oh boy, the last 2. The last 2 I'm going to bitch about a little bit because they are reprehensible. Well, one of them is reprehensible, and that would be Julie and Julia by Julie Powell. I loved the movie. I love both of these women. Impeccable actors. I really liked the movie. Hated this book. I read the last 3/4 of this book because I told myself that I was not going to DNF anything the other year when I read this. And I would say it wasn't worth the continuing. I thought, hey, maybe it'll get better. It didn't. Julie Powell, while she can write funny shit, she shat on Julia Child, and nobody shits on Julia Child. I freaking love Julia Child. So first of all, 1 strike against you. 2 strikes against you is getting mad at people like saying you're ruining French cooking because, bitch, you did. Just gonna put it out there. And thirdly is she's terrible. She is legitimately terrible. She treats everyone around her awfully. I don't know anyone is friends with her at all. So this was a waste of my life when I read it. I'm still mad about it. Watch the movie instead. I don't know. Okay. So there's that. And then the last book in here is The Monogram Murders by Sophie Hannah. She got permission, I guess, from Agatha Christie's estate or her family, or I don't know. But she got permission to write a new series of books. Honestly, I've only read this one out of the whatever's out now. I'm sure that there's probably a handful out now. I will not read them. I just won't because this was so terrible. I am a huge fan of Poirot. I'm a huge fan of Agatha Christie, and this was fucking fan fiction. That's simply what it is. Instead of being a decent mystery, this was, let's create a ridiculous OC and have him hang out with Poirot. That's all this was. The MC, I think his name was like Catchpool or something stupid like that, and he is supposedly a really smart detective, and he is a bigger idiot than Lestrade. So I don't understand how this man got anywhere in his career before he met Poirot. And also, he's just the only other thing I remember about this guy, besides the fact that he's an idiot, is that he had like some terrible thing that happened to him when he's a kid, and it like is this thing he broods on throughout the book, and then when they finally reveal what it is, like I audibly laughed out loud because it's really stupid. So I don't know. It just makes me very mad. It makes me disappointed and very angry, and I will not seek out any of the others. And Gillian Flynn, I can't believe you quoted on this because what are you, who are you, what are you doing, what are you doing, what are you saying? I don't know. This is awful. This is awful. It's in the bag. It's in the it's in the bag. Okay. So, that was me ranting, I guess. Sorry. Those are all the books I'm getting rid of. Somebody else in the world will want them, hopefully. Eventually, I will bring them somewhere, whether it be to, I don't know, I'll either bring it to a library, or I have I have a secondhand shop that I really love. I might bring it down there and see if she wants any of them. So, yeah, that is my unhaul. All right. See ya, I guess. Sorry for the F-bombs and the non-editing. Bye.